Hi, Phil Aston here from Now Spinning Magazine with another episode of Chart Watch and Music Biz Speak, which is my kind of ad hoc video series where I can dive into the charts, the UK charts, to look at the kind of split between CD and vinyl sales and just a general observation on how I think things are going in the world of physical music. Sometimes these videos include lots of new release stuff coming up, but this one is just purely focused on sales in the UK album chart, just out of interest, especially as I know many of you are saying, what about the Beatles, Phil? Well, at the time of doing this video, the single has entered the charts, but of course it's bolted on to an album, and I imagine that's going to be hitting the charts, if it hasn't already, by the next time I do another video. Isn't it strange that we have the Rolling Stones getting to number one and the Beatles release something almost at the same time? It's like the 60s again, isn't it? The battle has never gone away. But in the singles chart, the Beatles are in at number 42 at the time of me doing this, and this is based on week 44 of the actual charts. And Taylor Swift is number one. But what I love about the singles chart sometimes is the way that it interacts with what's going on around us, and it's nearly 100% streaming, as you can imagine. But you've got number 14 is a re-entry for Danny Elfman, and this is Halloween from the film, This is Halloween, so great track, I love that. And Bobby Boris Pickett and the Monster Mash is at number 29. Michael Jackson is in at number 20 with Thriller. So wonderful stuff. But the stuff I really want to talk about is physical sales, depending on who it is that's releasing the album. Last week, the Rolling Stones were in the charts, and with about 73,000 sales of their album, most of which was physical releases. But the thing is that usually in the UK album charts, it's about, to get to number one, it's about 18 to 20,000. Now, I've just done a podcast with Karen Emanuel from the Key Production Group, one of the main producers of vinyl and CDs in the UK. Now, the thing is with the chart, and many of you of a certain vintage will say, 20,000 copies and you get to number one. It's all over. It's a snapshot. Not everything that gets sold goes through the chart system. Everything has to be scanned to be counted to go into the charts. And so much now is sold directly to the fan or the consumer for merch stalls and directly from websites that it doesn't get counted. So I like to see the charts as being like a feel for what's going on. So it's not an exact science. And you could say, well, why can't they just keep a mark of all the people that press things? And that would be a better idea. Well, no, because not everything gets sold straight away. It might sit on a shelf somewhere for 2 years. So that doesn't work either. So the charts is the best thing we have at the moment. But the album charts, if you're Taylor Swift, is your domain, especially in the UK. She has 9 albums in the top 75. In fact, how many she got in the top 10? She's at number 1, okay, and she's also at number 11. She's at number 15. She's at number 16. She's at number 20. She's at number 21. She's at number 28. She's everywhere. And I mention this because of the sales numbers of what has sold. So as I said, normally it's about 20,000 to get to number one. The Rolling Stones is an outlier, 70-odd thousand. Taylor Swift's album, 1989, which is a reworking of her classic album, has sold 184,965 copies to get to number one. So if I tell you what has got to number 2, which is Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark, to get to number 2 in the album charts was 17,520. So 185,000, the next one down is 17,000. At number 4, the Rolling Stones are at number 3, by the way, and they sold, I think it was 15,000 to stay at number 3. Duran Duran are in at number 4 with Dance Macabre, which has got 9,832 sales. Okay, so is there anything else I could bring to give you some reference point. No, that'll do. So at number 4 is under 10,000. At number 2 is under 18,000, and at number 1 is 185,000. So, which shows you that there is an audience for physical music. It depends on who's putting what out, and I think for all the Swifties, all the Taylor Swift fans, and there's whether it's parents or kids or whatever, her command of her audience. She is so good at marketing, and yes, there are multiple copies, and she knows exactly what she's doing. I think she's just been certified a billionaire. Is that I think it's great news, and because if I can break that down actually, the 184,965, and see exactly how that was made up, and it is as follows. Out of that 184,000, there were 75,672 CDs in that total. So that's 75,672 CDs. There were 61,791 vinyl albums. There were 1,460 cassettes. There were 3,892 digital downloads and 42,000 sales equivalent streams. Absolutely brilliant. To tell you how, in fact, just before I move on, because this physical product from last week was 480,374, so that's 19.5% of all the albums sold were physical. I mention that because in my other stat that I keep a track on is roughly what the percentage is of CD and vinyl sales compared with streaming to make up the kind of album sales per week, because streaming is about 85% now. It is 2 weeks ago it was 13.9%. Last week, Rolling Stones, it was 15.7%. This week, Taylor Swift, it's 19.5%. So when the big names come forwards, the fans want to have something tangible in their hands, and up it goes. So there is a massive audience for physical music, and a lot of the people buying that Taylor Swift album are going to be people younger than me. And when I go into a record shop, most of the people in it are younger than me. Now, some of these sarcastic people out there will be saying, well, I'm not surprised. Well, but I think it's great to see other people getting into the world of collecting. And in fact, in my podcast with Carrie Manuel, this is episode 2, by the way, on that, there are so many people now that are it's doing really well. The physical music market is stable and doing well, and things like this will just make more people invest and realise that it's just about how you pitch it. It's how you put it together. It's the quality of it. But there are plenty of people out there who love buying CDs and love buying vinyl and love streaming. All of the formats and all the ways of consuming music are fab. Right. Thank you. I shall be back with an update on how the Beatles, nearly said the Rolling Stones again then, I've been playing it such a lot, the Beatles track and the album that it's attached to has performed. It'd be interesting to see that. So I shall return with another instalment of this series when I have the data for that album release. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Please subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out on any updates. Become a patron, become a YouTube member, and you'll get to see lots of stuff that doesn't actually make it into the public domain. Take care, everyone. Remember, music is the healer and a doctor, and I shall see you very, very soon.